Alright guys, welcome back to a Grind Cross video, and I tried doing this a little bit before, but I had to add an extra tier list, like an extra, the God tier, because it was getting too crowded in the S tier, and it did take a little bit too long. So now I've set out the D tier, which you can see here. You can kind of see by the character who they are, so I think most of us can get understanding, plus we should remember some. I'll explain some of them, right? Not too many because we'll be sat here for too long, but I'm only doing SSRs here because, well, you can see it doesn't look like a lot, but that actually is quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to breeze through it. The thing about this tier list is we're only doing on uniques, right? So, for example, I give it Deldry here. Deldry's going to go into yes tier because her passive is actually really good for PvP. It's just the fact that she's bad herself and she has, like, no cosmetics. If she had, like, full, like, good stats, good gear overall, and if you know what a passive does, she charms one enemy, and that one enemy can literally cannot attack Deldry at all, only with ultimates. And as well, if it's an AoE skill, if that person's been charmed, they can no longer do damage to everyone on the team. It's actually quite a sick passive, right? So Jericho here is to increase crit chance, and yeah, it's going to go into B tier, not too good. Draw is going to go God. He's for free. When anyone on the other team gets 5 all gauge, they are locked for 2 turns. Insane. I kind of go through the ones quickly here. Kyo is going to go into God tier. Absolute unreal passive. If you don't know as well, it's just at the start of every turn, you apply 2 ignites. The ignites do either like 10% more damage, and they do 5% less damage towards you. Let's go towards Death Pierce. Death Pierce is an unreal one. It lowers their crit resistance and crit defense, so you're able to do crits more often. And when you do crit, it does hit it a lot harder. Goddess Elizabeth, once again, a broken passive. Ludiciel, I put an S. He's got a decent passive. Like, it's not broken. Like, it's definitely good. It just kind of benefits more with other character skills. I wouldn't say it's broken, like how you stick to these ones. Definitely is good, though. Not too bad. Erin is immune to ultimate disables. It's decent, but it's not like you're going to break the game. It's going to go to A tier. Let's go to, this is counter. So this is LV. LV is going to go to God tier because this stuff stops people from attacking him if they have like high crit chance, or if they attack a lot of times. So, you know, Gopher, this free upgrades pretty much, like, it's such a good passive. Athena is going to go God tier as well. Up an S. To be able to remove 2 passive or 2 orbs just for killing someone when they're all rushing is insane. Gopher's passive, the green one's going to go into God as well. Every turn, as long as you have different races. It's such a sick thing. Aaron, once again, going to A tier. He is increasing. Every time he's got an orb, he increases damage by 10%, up to 50%. It's not too bad. Also on Hawke, basically what he does is every time you remove ultimate gauge, he gains it. It's not bad if the character wasn't. We're not judging the character, right? But now we're putting A tier. It's pretty sick. Like, if the character was better, like had a better, like imagine if it had Lost Anal. It'll be sick. Derrieri's gonna go into no, we'll go to A. What she does, she increases her attack by 10% every time she uses a skill. Not too bad. I'm gonna put Camilla into S. So what she does is, whenever she takes damage, she increases her HP related stats by 5%, I believe. And then when that reaches 5, so when she has 5 of the buffs, she removes all the debuffs or all the buffs, removes the skill or deletes it, and it gets a free ultimate gain. Once again, the character isn't too good, and obviously the reason why you get a free ultimate is because, well, you're transforming. But imagine if that wasn't a transforming character, but like a Lost Veil, this would be broken. Literally, like, there's nothing you can do about it, to be fair. Let's go towards Merlin. Merlin he's still used to this day a massive God tier passive to increase an extra orb gauge, which that 1 extra orb gauge just allows you to rush either 1 or 2 ults. Insane. I know this is Diane, the new one. I'm going to put into C because, well, yes, giants are good, but you literally can only use it against draw. Not many people have Aaron, so there's no real point of using him. Faradrin, should I put in God? Wait, does he remove? Yeah, we'll put in God. Removes all debuffs, which is massive, and it also fills up everyone's ultimate gauge to max if the hero dies. Faradrin again wants to go down, go into God tier. What he does is, if he has the highest CC, he does lock out everyone's ult. No, we'll put in S, because you can kind of deal with it. Yeah, just for 2 turns, he can't gain the ultimate gauge. Pretty good. I believe this is the Esterosa with, he does an extra 10% per debuff on himself. I'll put in B because you can't really control that. If they're not applying debuffs, well, it ain't too much. Ruger will go into S tier. If he goes below, what, 50% HP, he recovers max HP and increases base stats by 15%. Like, literally, you cannot attack. It's like Lost Vein. You cannot attack him unless you know you're going to kill him. This is Melaskala's one, where if they reach below 0 HP, they for 3 turns, they can no longer drop below HP. It's a buff, so you can remove it. Going to put into S tier. If the character was better, once again, it'll be a lot of good. This is the green Escanor, who increase, or what was it? He can't be debuffed or he can't be buffed. I put into A. It's such a, literally, if you see Escanor, you cannot do nothing. You have to kill him, otherwise you're gonna get his O off. Red Escanor, A again. What he does is at the start of the turn for the 3 turns, he what 20% HP related stats, not too bad. This is Shin. For every 3 skills he uses, he increases. Well, every time he uses a skill, he increases attack related stats, and then when he does reach 3 attack-related stats buff, he removes it and it increases everyone's skill rank, like Gopher's. B, not too bad. This is Esterosa. For right now, it's going to go in B. I think later on, it'll be a lot better when we get more stance skills, especially on JP, but this is not a JP tier list, it's only global. So right now, literally, the only person using debuff skills, stance skills, is him. Camilla's, when she transforms, she does get this passive, which increases allies' attack related stats by 20%. I put that in good, because if that was just a basic passive to have just having in a sub slot without transforming, this would actually be broken. Because you think of that, Gopher has to go 5 turns to get the max 30%. So if you can have that and also Camilla's passive just for having it in the sub, that would be kind of nuts. This is the blue draw, which increases attack by 3% per buff on the hero. A little bit more control over this one. This is why it's going to go into B tier. Levi, I put in C. What he does is he's guaranteed the crit to the person who has the lowest HP in the team. It's okay. Once again, it kind of depends on what the character does, but it's not the best. It's okay passive. Diane, this is the blue one, increases his hero's attack by 6% at the end of every turn. Not too bad, I was sitting there. Houses increases, what is it, attack HP related stats by 15% per human, or just for humans? No, it's 18%. It's 8% for basic stats. Once again, for humans, not too bad. And I believe the R for one, this is increased crit damage by 10% per orb field, up to 50% of its max. And when it is max, it increases by 100%. Broken passive, like if you have ult gauge, this is killing anyone, no matter what. It's unreal damage plus what the character does. This Meteorus here can is it the red one? So it's blue one, unaffected by attack disables for forever, as long as the ultimate is below 4. It goes in C. It's good, but like no one uses attack disable anymore because we're using green Gopher. Merlin increases crit damage per skill used, which goes into C tier. It's once again, it's a decent one, but it's not too crazy. Mikasa increases is it all best stats? Yeah, all stats by 3% every time an ally takes damage. I put in A. It's a really good passive. It just doesn't really work too much now. But in the day, back in the day when she was out, even now, it's just the fact that she dies too quick, or people know how to play against it. But for a passive, the fact that you have to kill her pretty quick, when if she'd stayed alive for too long, she gets kind of invincible pretty much. This Elizabeth here is going to go to S tier. What she does is when she dies, she removes all debuffs, fully heals, and also fills the ultimate gauge by 2. Broken. So King, magic control increases crit chance by 10% per orb, and also additional 50 if it's max. A lot of them do that actually, like different things. It's gonna go in B. Mai, I put in A. What she does is she increases her base stats by 50% every time she gets a call upgrade or a merger. It works with the character because of the amplify skills, but overall as a skill, it's not the worst one. I won't put an S because it's a good skill to have, but like if she didn't have the amplify skill, it wouldn't be it's not the worst one, right? Blue Gopher, allies recover diminished HP each time a debuff is removed off self. D-tier, not too good. This is reverse Elizabeth Hawke. I believe what she does is per debuff on herself, she increases the attack HP related stats by like 12%. Yeah, I mean it's not the best passive because there's no control over it. But like the fact that you can HP by 12% is actually kind of good. Malascula increases hero's base stats by 1% per orb field on the ultimate gauge on all allies and enemies. It works. It goes in C. Green Demon Medic Eldest, what he does is S tier. When he kills someone, he gets the ultimate gauge. So if they're higher, right? So if you have ult 4 ult gauge and you kill someone, you're gonna get that ult gauge. And if it's max ult gauge, you're gonna get another ultimate. Kind of insane passive. The next one, I put in D. It's not a good passive. It works for what the character does in I guess in Crimson Demon. What he does is he increases crit chance by 50% per ally dead. You kind of want to have that before someone dies, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's not a good one. Okay, so Mon Speed increases 100% damage towards ignites. Now, it's only ignites, so it's going to go to A, so a little bit limited, but still, this is unreal damage what you can do. The next one is Slander, which decreases the hero's taken. No, that goes in D tier. What he does, decreases the hero's damage taken from ultimate skills by 30%. I mean, if there's a lost Athena, you know, you're dying regardless, so there's no even point. This is the green Diane who increases the hero's, defense? Puts a shield based on the hero's defense by 30% at the start of the turn. Not too bad, it goes in there. Hellbrum at Death's Door. When he heals for the 100% of the defense when the hero reaches 0 HP, basically becoming like one hit, so she can't be one hit, right? I put it to B. It works. If the character wasn't bad, it'd be a lot better. The next Hellbrum, the red one, increases the hero's basic stats by 5% for each surviving ally. It works, goes in B. Galan, so this is the red one here. Strength attribute ignored 30% of enemy's defense when using the skill. It works, so once again goes in C. The blue Galan, this is a little bit confusing, especially when I first read it. Taunts one enemy, and then the affected target can only attack Galan, and it can no longer use debuff skills. Quite good. Like if it's like a lost vein, well, grant if Galan was sick, right, proper tanky guy, and he could survive attacks against lost vein, then yes, he'd be really good. Plus debuff skills, so like I mean. Gopher, if you target Gopher, grant he only does AoE, but he can no longer debuff anyone, so it's pretty sick. Mono is going to go into B. She got a global buff where she does 50% more damage per shock, poison, and corrosion. It works, but you're not going to get all of them off, especially now without... No, I'll put it into C. You don't have Hendrix on a King, so it's not going to work too much. Okay, so Green Lilia decreases enemies' attack by 60% in PvP. Goes into B. This is the green Dairy, which what she does, you can't gain orb gauge from moving skills to enemies, so it's not a commandments to enemies, so you can actually still move skills yourself. Not too bad. I put into B because it's only limited to PvP. Next is Blue Eastern, increases base stats by 5% per buff on allies and enemies. It works very well, so you can at least get 15% basic increase in stats because you're using it yourself with her buff skill. It's only for herself, so I put it to B. Elette, once again, I put it to B, has a usage in guild bosses. What she does is, she increases her crit damage, or everyone's crit damage, by 5% per skill that she uses up to 10 times. This is Red Gopher. I put it to B. It's not as good as people think, mainly because you have no control on it. It's literally if they don't attack you, and most of the time they just do, so it's not even that good. Next we have a Red Nunchuck Barn, which fills the ultimate gauge by 1 at the start of the turn if the hero takes damage. Put it to B, it's pretty good. Next we have the blue Ale Collector Barn, which is extort defense, increase hero's defense by 50% of all allies of all enemies defense. Yeah, not that good. I don't really get it. So increases crit chance by 300% if the value of the value when the hero uses skill on an enemy that has empty ultimate gauge. Good against demons. It doesn't really work too much in PvP since, well, if you start first, they always have one ult gauge because that's how PvP works. Okay, so Hawke is increase all stats of the hero by 50%. Excluded PvP increases when okay, but is it gone now? No, it's not. It lasts all the way to the New Year's, right? Yeah. So right now, this is a godly passive. Basis stats of 50%. Excluding PvP, so I go into S. PvP, PvE content is just, this guy's godly right now. Granted, it does go down to 15 after New Year's, so just bear in mind that. Next we have Blue Barn, which is decrease attack related stats when the hero doesn't take damage. Once again, you can't really control, so I'll put that to C tier. If it does work, then yes, it's kind of nice, but yeah, you have to kind of get it off, right? Next we have Blue Fat King, heals for 50% of the max HP at the start of the next turn if the hero takes damage. C, it sounds quite good, and I put it to D. It's not that good, let's be real, boys. It's Fat King. Strong Will, we have Grima here, increases attack by the value equal to 30% of the hero's defense start turn. Horrible. Jenna actually has a good one. So she increases her attack by 20% and only can, well, when she gets debuffed, but she can only debuff one time. So like very, very good. Like it just wasn't a trash character, and she can get it off more often. It'd be pretty sick if, like, you know, someone against Kyo where you can only have like one ignite on, and now you're doing what, 20% extra more damage. Lilia, we have the blue one here. This is going to go into S or God tier. Increases allies pierce rate by 50% at the start of the turn. Of her pierce rate. That makes sense, right? You know it works, but it's such a good passive. Benny Maru increases damage dealt by 3% per skill used. Up to 10 times. I put it to C. I attempted to put it there, but in D tier, because like it it's such a them skills you have to use like multiple skills to build up the certain percentages. I don't like them too much. Alpha increases HP related stats of humans by 50%. That's the one I was getting confused with earlier. Very similar to whatever the houses one was. It works only with humans. Okay, so Red Elizabeth is the Valentine one, right? Increases allies recovery. Yeah, okay, I can already see it. Increase allies recovery by 10% every time a hero heals an ally. Just, yeah, no, let's put that in D, take it off. Okay, so next we have Glock Cineos, it's this one here. It increases hero's defense by 5% for every ally is alive, and it also increases attack related stats by every ally that is dead. Yeah, just not too good, but it works at least. The other Glock Cineos one now, the red one, it's actually kind of good. I'm putting it into A tier. Increases hero skill rank every time. When the hero skills are ranked up, it fills ultimate gauge by 1. So if you move an orb, so if you move a skill and you get, your skill rank up, you get 2 orbs. If you use a Gopher, which obviously everyone's using Gopher, if you upgrade any of his skills, granted if the character was a lot better, then it'd be sick. Okay, so Red Skinny King reduces enemies' current pierce rate by half in PvP. I put it to B because it kind of depends on what the meta is. If the person is obviously using, the pen teams pretty much. This is Red Merlin, increases pierce rate by 10% per orb field, additional 50 when it is maxed. C, not too good. Coming to the end now, we have Remiru, so increases defense related stats by 8% when the hero doesn't take damage. No, when he does take damage. Defense, okay, you can be tanky. Like, a couple times with Gopher's cards, which are very weak, it does work. Valenti may have to go to S, S, yeah. What's it? She decreases enemies' pierce rate by the value of the hero's resistance at the start of the turn. A super good passive, man. It's actually kind of nuts at what this character can do, and the fact she's still used even on JP. Okay, so this is the green nunchuck barn, right? The cotton shop one, right? Decreases enemies' HP related stats by 10% when the hero doesn't take damage. It's a good passive, but once again, you have no control over it. This is Captain Mediotis. He increases crit chance by the ratio of the hero's diminished HP. I mean, it works. It's just, yeah, it's in the D tier. Roxy's a weird one. When the hero deals damage to enemies with the additional damage from explosion, recovers 30% of HP and fills ultimate gauge by 1. It works with the character. I'm putting it. It's a weird one. I don't really stand it because I've not used it, but it does work, so why not? Next we have Blue Elizabeth, Green Elizabeth actually. Fills the ultimate gauge by 2 at the start of the turn. If it was other characters, yes, it'd be pretty sick. Like if you could start with a 2 ult gauge on Lost Vein with a Merlin in association with also ult food, you can pretty much get ult in 1 turn. I mean, you already can, but like it'll be even better. Okay, so Red Elaine increases. Okay, this is actually pretty good. Increases allies' stat-related buffs by half the value in deathmatch. Okay, in deathmatch. Okay, it goes to C. I thought it was in PvP as well, but it's not. Okay, this one's weird. So Zaratros. Okay, so Zaratros, I don't understand too much. If a critical strike does not occur from a skill used against an enemy, the hero's damage is dealt increased by the amount of equal to crit chance. So you just don't want to crit. Like, I know it does a lot of damage to PvE, but like if you don't crit the crit chance, I just don't get it. Okay, finally finishing this up now. Moving on to the both of the boys, the Zeldrosses. We have this one, which increases crit damage by 30% when the hero's ultimate gauge is depleted by 1 up to 3 times. So 90% crit damage. A, because he can do it himself. I don't want to talk about what the character can actually do, but he can obviously just remove ultimate gauge by himself. Plus with Gophers are running around, you're pretty much always going to have 90% crit damage from using his skills. Plus it works with the character, right? I don't want to keep talking about it, but yeah. And finally, we have the leader of the 10 commandments, fitting in for the last one. Increase base stats of all allies by 6% for every ally and enemy percent of the commandment. Pretty good. So A tier again. The leader of the commandments is a pretty good passive. So there we go. I think it worked out pretty well. First, I don't think I said it yet, but bro, you gotta appreciate the artwork for these passives. They're actually so sick. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, kind of a little fun video to make, just because talk about passives, right? Because Delgy would never be an S tier, but her passive obviously is an S tier passive. And yeah, let me know what you disagree with, I guess. I could do this, if you want to see it, I could do it for obviously, I guess, SRs and also Rs, but I mean, you can already see this video probably, I mean, my recording is like 30 minutes so far, probably like a 20-minute video, so even just with the SSRs, it still took quite a while. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Peace.